giving more Florida families the freedom of choice for their children's education, and with the new Family Empowerment Scholarship. 8 years ago, we created Mount Moriah Fundamental Christian School because of what we saw in our community. We saw students dropping out of school at an alarming rate, and we were hearing from our congregation and others about how difficult it was for our children to fit in certain public school environments. We do know the district is doing all they can for our kids, but not every assigned school is going to fit each child. These kids all had different needs, so a one-size-fits-all system wouldn't work for them. They needed an alternative. So we created an environment here at Mount Moriah where children facing some of the greatest challenges could succeed. Our schools simply wouldn't exist if parents didn't have the Florida Tax Credit Scholarship. We have 56 students here. 40 of them are on the scholarship. The scholarship is the only option so many of these parents have. Without it, they could not afford to put their children in the schools of their choice. The scholarship not only gives these parents an alternative, it gives them a sense of hope. Their desperate cry has been heard. Unfortunately, 13,000 students this year were on a waiting list for the scholarship. I've seen a mother whose child was on the waiting list standing in our lobby, pleading and crying her eyes out to take their child into our school anyway. She felt hopeless for her child's future without the scholarship. We tried our best to help her through other means, which is not always easy for a school our size to do. Thankfully, Governor DeSantis and the legislature heard these pleas for help. The new Family Empowerment Scholarship will eliminate the waiting list and create opportunities for 1,000 more students to attend the school of their choice, over and above the 100,000 students who already participate in the tax credit scholarship programs. Those additional scholarships will also make it possible to open more schools of choice like Mount Moriah here in South St. Petersburg, and even elsewhere to meet the growing demand from parents for alternatives. The school district works hard to improve the schools in our neighborhoods, but parents in our community need to have the same ability to do what those of greater means do every day, the power to find the best learning environment for their children. The new Family Empowerment Scholarship further levels the education field, opening up a range of options from which more parents can choose. I want to offer heartfelt thanks to Governor DeSantis, Senator Diaz, and all the lawmakers from both parties who made this day possible, a new day for school choice in Florida. Thank you. At this time, I will put it into the hands of our wonderful governor of this state of Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Well, Pastor Ward, thank you for having us. You were with us, I think, about a month ago when we were making the final push in Tampa, and you spoke very powerfully then and very powerfully now. Students, hello. Thank you guys for attending. We appreciate you. Thanks so much. And I thank the legislators for being here. Many of them did wonderful work this session. I think if you look at what we accomplished across a wide range of fields, whether it's environment, public safety, obviously healthcare, you name it, there were some really significant victories. But I don't know that we've ever done as much in one session for education as we did this past session. And President Galvano can tell you we have record funding for education for the school districts. My proposal for teacher bonuses passed. We have $300 million coming for school teachers, which is just the beginning, but it's something that's very, very important. We have all these new programs now for vocational education, apprenticeships, skills-based education, because going to a four-year college is one way you can be successful, but there's other ways you can be successful as well. So we want to put those opportunities for our students. We also did a record investment for computer science instruction, because this is going to continue to be a big part of our society going forward. So we want that to be, our students to be exposed to that, be able to take those courses, and we're going to train the teachers accordingly. So we did an awful lot on education that I'm proud of. And one of the things we're proud of course, is the Family Empowerment Scholarship. I'm a big believer in the tax credit scholarship program. Part of it is just philosophically, I believe that the parents know what's best for their child, and they know what environment works the best. But I also, even apart from that belief, I'm able to read data and read studies that have shown, like the Urban Institute recently put out, that students who are on the tax credit scholarship are significantly more likely to go to college and to get a bachelor's degree. And that's been borne out in their studies. And this is not necessarily a group that was trying to carry water for school choice. They just looked at the data, and it is what it is. And it makes sense to me that that would be the case because, if a parent knows that they have options, they can look, maybe it's the neighborhood school run by the school district. Maybe they have options to do a magnet school within the school district. Maybe a public charter school that's not run by the school district. Or maybe they have this scholarship and can come to a school like this. The parent's going to make the decision about what's best for their kids, put them in an environment to succeed, and that's where you get the results. And so the fact that we had 100,000 kids on the tax credit scholarship program and then a wait list, and there was really no mechanism to clear the wait list with the current structure of the tax credit scholarship. And so we were basically, I think, at capacity. And so the question is, you have families, many of these are single mothers. I think the average income is like $25,000. So these are folks who are working hard, but they need some help. And I didn't want to just sit idly by and let this wait list accumulate. And so this new scholarship will clear that wait list. It's going to expand opportunities for families here in Florida and ultimately allow parents to find that good environment for their kids. And so I think it's a historic day. I think a lot of folks up here worked very hard, and I'm certainly honored to be able to be the governor that signs it into law, which we will do, I think, later this afternoon when we're down in Miami. But you can bet, don't worry, it's going to get signed, so we're fine. And we're going to do it because for the students, I believe in you. The folks up here all believe in you, that you can do great things. We want to give you the tools you need to be able to make the most of your God-given talents. And so as long as I'm governor, we're going to stand beside you. We'll be with you. And that's what goes for you guys too. So thank you. We're going to have some of the legislators come up, but just let me personally thank President Bill Galvano. You can have a lot of great ideas. The Florida Senate is a quirky institution. It's not always as easy as it may seem to do things. And so he was somebody that was committed to doing this early on and really committed to doing a lot of major policy. I think they probably did more policy, significant policy in the Senate this term than any time I can remember, and I think a lot of that is a testament to Bill's leadership, so we very much appreciate the President being here. I also want to thank Senator Manny Diaz, who, this guy works very, very hard. This was really his project to be able to build consensus in the Senate, get it enacted, and I just really enjoyed working with him. He's a great ally, and he really cares about the education of Florida's kids. And then Jennifer Sullivan in the House to be able, to deliver it there. It was a historic day when that happened, and I think a lot of kids going forward are going to look back, may not even know it's that day, but we'll look back, and that'll be a real turning point in the lives of thousands and thousands of Florida kids. So they did a lot. There's other folks up here who also did a lot. You're going to hear from some of them. It's my honor to invite up now the guy that leads the upper chamber in the Florida legislature, the President of the Florida Senate, Bill Galvano.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. And let me start by thanking Governor DeSantis. You know, without his leadership, without his guidance, without him making these issues a priority, we would not be able to achieve them within the legislative process. And it's really phenomenal to have a governor who collaborates and works with us in the legislature for all of you to make sure that we are working together to do what's best for the people of Florida, many of whom are in this room. And so, Governor, thank you so much. I also would like to recognize our partners in the Florida House. You know, we have a bicameral system, which means we have to come together and we have to negotiate and vet ideas, and it's not an easy process, and it was designed not to be easy, but it was designed so that we can get through it and the best ideas come forward, like the idea we're celebrating today. And without good partnership in the Florida House, our Speaker Jose Oliva, with Jennifer Sullivan's leadership in the House, and all of the House members you see up here and countless others that are around the state, we could not have achieved the important legislation that we celebrate here today, as well as so many other pieces of legislation. So to the Florida House. And then also to my chamber, to the senators that worked very hard on this. And yes, it is, the Senate is designed to be a chamber of big personalities and to really go after ideas in terms of trying to understand them and looking at every angle. And so when you have something pass through the Senate, and we've got senators here, I saw Hooper was here, Senator Brandis is here, Senator Roussan, but when you have something go through the Senate of this magnitude, that's going to change lives, that created an enhancement across the board for education, that empowered people, you need to have a quarterback who can get it into the goal, or get it to the goal. And we had that in Senator Manny Diaz. He came in, he's a freshman, he has worked hard to distinguish himself, and for him to build the consensus and work with his partners in the House and create this bill that will be signed later today with the help of Representative Sullivan, or as a team, it really speaks high of his commitment, not just to the legislative process or to the state of Florida, but to students and families around the state and to all of you in this room. So I introduce Senator Manny Diaz.
Thank you, President Galvano, and those were very kind words. I got to tell you that if you want to say I was the quarterback, without your guidance and that offensive line in front of us, we wouldn't have been able to get this through the Senate. And I do want to thank our partners in the House who are up here, Speaker D, Chris Prowse, who's here, and the rest of the members of the House, and also your leadership along with Speaker Jose Oliva to get this here. But I got elected in 2012 to the House, and I've been in the legislature, and one of the things, the thing that I wanted to get to was this day today. And this is directed at the kids. This is a testament that you never give up and you go after something. And if you're on the right side of an issue, you continue and continue, because with God's help, you will get to across the goal line. So Governor Ron DeSantis led on this issue, and he came out and gave us the direction for us to be able to take our ideas and get it through the legislative process. And so I commend you, Governor, for your leadership, for being out in front of this from the very beginning. We were kind of, I think, waiting for that leadership to come in the governor's office, and we appreciate you leading on this issue. Also, I would be remiss without recognizing First Lady Casey DeSantis and her advocacy. Her advocacy on behalf of the kids and making sure that this waiting list is gone. Thank you for being there for the kids and representing the right ideals. And everyone here at this school, Pastor, including yourself, thank you for doing God's work and for providing this opportunity for these kids that they're gonna find out how big of an opportunity it is when they're older. And the one challenge that I give you guys and ladies that are the students is you have to keep the fight on. We'll be out of office, we'll move on to something else, but the fight, the torch is passed on to you. So what I ask of you is to continue our work and make sure that every student in the state of Florida has this opportunity that you have here today, and that you pass that torch on, and that we're able to never have a student, because of their zip code or their socioeconomic status, to be able to have an opportunity, because education is the great equalizer in our country, in our state, and you guys are living it. So we pass the torch and ask you to continue that fight going forward, and join advocates like John Kirtley. Thank you for all the work that you've done on this fight going way back. John, I know that you've been fighting this fight for these kids. So at the end of the day, this is for the kids. Again, thank you, Governor. Thank you, President Galvano, for the kind words and for your leadership. And I also thank Speaker Oliva for his leadership in the House. And next, I'm going to bring up my partner in the House that I've been working on this issue and some other education issues for a few years, but now we're across the hall from each other. Chair Jennifer Sullivan, Representative Jennifer Sullivan, who led this effort in the House. And I think, as the governor and the president pointed out, a historic moment happened at that moment that we were able to be there and watch that happen with that vote. And so, thank you so much for your leadership, and it's your turn.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for hosting us today. It's such an honor to be able to be here and to stand along my colleagues and Governor DeSantis, First Lady, their leadership on this issue from the very beginning running in the campaign. Also, Senator Manny Diaz, who just did a great effort in the Senate along with President Galvano. And I also want to thank Speaker Oliva, and just to echo these thanks with Speaker D. Sprouse and Chair Latvala and my colleagues in the House, who it was a team effort and everyone was in this together. It's such an honor to have had a part of that. And to the students here and the parents that are here, those that have been on the wait list for so long, we are here today to tell you that we have seen you, we have heard you, and we have funded you through this bill in this Family Empowerment Scholarship. I do what I do, and I can speak on behalf of the others. We do all that we do and the sacrifices that we make in Tallahassee for you students, for you to have opportunity, because you are never too young to make a difference. And with your education, if you put your heart and your mind to it, you can accomplish great things. And so I just want to encourage you to not be defined by your age, but be defined by your work ethic. And that work ethic can start in the classroom today. So this scholarship gives you that opportunity. Parents, this scholarship gives you true choice, so you can choose what's best for your students, because government doesn't know best. You, as parents, knows best. And so that's what this bill seeks to do, and it was such an honor to be able to have a part in it. Thank you again, Governor DeSantis, First Lady, and the leadership that's here. Linda, yes. And next we have someone whose district we're in right now, and that's Representative Wingate Newton, and it's such a pleasure to be here, and he has been a strong supporter of you students in this bill and school choice, and so we're looking forward to hearing from him next. Thank you so much.
Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, my strength, O Lord, my Redeemer. Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome to District 70, one of the most impoverished areas in all of Pinellas County, of 1 million people. Born and raised in District 70 in '63, when my mom died here in '85, at a young age of 47 years old. Single divorced mom raising 8 kids off of government subsidies, food stamps, welfare, government cheese, free lunch, reduced lunch, summer jobs, after school jobs. You're looking at it. But everything I'm not made me everything that I am. And I took full advantage of every opportunity to help me realize my full potential, because those programs were a hand up, not a handout. But if you like stats, because a lot of people do, they talk about the area and the way the kids come up and the challenges that they're up against. If you like stats, single divorced mom raising 8 kids off government subsidies while working a day job, doing day labor in our affluent areas, Snell Island, Shore Acres, like that movie, To Help, bringing home a day's pay to put with those subsidies just to try to make ends meet. Those stats will tell you that a black male coming from where I come from should either be dead or in prison, not one of 120 members of the Florida House of Representatives. There's nothing you can't do. Yeah. There's nothing you can't do if you're not providing an opportunity, not a guarantee, but opportunity. This area where you sit also is home to the failure factories. You heard about the 5 failing schools and, and the things that went on with those schools at the behest of the Pinellas County School Board. And some of the members who have been there forever. If you take the 4 off of it, just ever. and they know best for you. That's why they present to you these 5 failing schools. Fairmont Park Elementary is where all my kids went. Chelsea, Wingate Jr., Antonio, and Brandon. My kids also came out of the other boys, went to Tyrone Middle. My daughter went to Thurgood Marshall. And they all graduated from Deep Oglesega High School, all honors. My daughter now is 3rd year pre-vet at FIU from that F school, that failure school. So given the opportunity and the support, there's nothing young people can't do. See, I learned a long time ago, if you can shoot an oblong ball on a 45-degree angle through a hoop, then you can learn trigonometry, geometry, and algebra. If you know all the secret codes to PlayStation 4 and all the secret moves, that tells me your brain is working just fine. We have to have the people to pour into that to help you realize what you are ought to be. You know, the Bible gives us a simple charge. The Bible says, and I quote, train up a child. Didn't say a black child, didn't say a white child, didn't say your child or my child. Train up a child in the way he should go. When he's older, he won't falter from it. So our job is to look out for the children. Didn't say anything about adults, it said the children. And that's what this is all about, to give you an opportunity to realize your full potential. When I sat on council here in the city of St. Pete, we arrested no less than 2,500 juveniles out of this city. And this city, which is 60 square miles with 250,000 people, where you sit is Child's Park. This is where all the youth are housed at. And this is where the majority of them go to jail from. That school-to-prison pipeline is real. It's not a charter school-to-prison pipeline. It's not a private school-to-prison pipeline. It's not a public school-to-prison pipeline. I'm sorry, it's a public school-to-prison pipeline. That's in which they get these young people, because that's where we were getting them from. So I want to make sure, and it's my wish, that every opportunity that you can afford yourself to realize your full potential, you do just that. Because as I go to speak at these high schools that Great American teach in, I never saw this many black males, never. But when I go out to the county jail or the juvenile facilities, I see a lot of black males. You're well represented. So you're worth more locked up than you are realizing your full potential. So take full advantage of that, because you're looking at somebody who came from where you came, where some of you came. I won't say all of you, but given the opportunity and thanking the people behind me, the governor, the first lady, our speaker, Dee, our Senate president, all these people made it happen. It's going to be politics on both sides of it, but at the end of the day, we have a simple charge, and it's to look out for these young kids. I also want to thank Dr. Davis and COQUEB. That was an organization that had to sue the Pinellas County School Board to provide for the individuals here in Pinellas County. So this just gives you an opportunity. And for the people that say it's going to take money away from the schools, when you lock up 100 males and take them out to the Pinellas County Jail for Children, that money follows those kids. We have to pay those guards. We have to give them benefits, medical packages. We have to provide cages to lock these kids up in, people to watch them and supervise them. We got to feed them. All that costs money. So it's okay to take kids out of the school and put them in there and use the money. But it's not okay for a parent to be able to take a kid and go to an honors program or graduation and watch that kid flourish. My grandkids, I have 7. They all attend Academy Prep. Cameron just graduated out, left Academy Prep. She was at Shorecrest. She's a freshman at Cookman University, Bethune-Cookman University, and she's all honors. Given the opportunity, I knew these young people will flourish, and that's all I signed up for. That's it. So I want to thank everybody that made this possible. I want to thank the teachers and Pastor Ward for what you're doing. Because if you don't do it, they got a plan for you on the other side, and it's not good. So thank you guys, and thank you all for coming and supporting this program.
Hello. My name is Shannon Dolly, and I'm the principal here at Mount Moriah Christian Fundamental Academy. I would sincerely like to welcome Governor DeSantis to our school and thank him for helping create the Family Empowerment Scholarship, which will help thousands of families access the right educational choices for their children. If it wasn't for the Florida Tax Credit Scholarship, Mount Moriah Academy would not exist. This year, our school serves 56 middle school students, and 40 of them are on the FTC scholarship. The scholarship is literally how we function. We have been open since 2011, but we don't have outside dollars coming in. We all pitch in to make it work. Our heart is here, and we're here because we want to be here. We want to give our students the best education possible. It was the vision of our pastor, Robert Ward, to open a middle school in this community so parents would have an alternative to public schools that are failing. He was tired of seeing kids get lost in the system, tired of seeing the negative effects of low graduation rates in this part of Pinellas County. He wanted to help give students, especially our young black boys, the push they need to graduate from high school. Pastor Ward's vision is working. Last year, 100% of former Mount Moriah students graduated from high school. That's not all. And 60% of them enrolled in college. 20% of them went into the military, and the other 20% joined the workforce. That is real positive change, and it could not have been accomplished without the tax credit scholarship. The scholarship gives lower-income families the same opportunities as families who can't afford to send their children to private school. Again, Governor DeSantis, thank you for eliminating the waiting list. I hope you can see and feel how truly grateful we are that the Family Empowerment Scholarship was created. Now, I would like to introduce you to a parent, Ms. Shakara Parks, who uses the scholarship to better the lives of her 4 children.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me. So my name is Shakara Parks, and I'm a single mother living in St. Petersburg, Florida, of course. I'm actually studying to become an education teacher, so elementary, not middle school. So I have 4 children, 2 girls and 2 boys, all receive the Florida Tax Credit Scholarship. This
Is it necessary to keep taking pictures? I'm serious. This is private.
you go to her first.
I would like to introduce one of my former students, Miss Denasia Woods, who currently attends St. Petersburg Catholic High School on the Step Up for Students Scholarship.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Denasia